Hey y'all, it's your girl Lisa, and I am back with my boy
Brian.
B, my boy Mr. Parker. Hey, Mr. Parker,
Hey.
how you doing?
All right.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Why you so like?
It's
You
all right.
good?
It's all
Just
right.
fine. So you guys, we are here today to talk about dating during these rough times, during uncertainty. But anywho, so yeah, we'll be talking about that. Not only will we be talking about that, someone asked us a question from our last video about divorce and getting back out there, divorce after 40. So we do want to answer that question.
Yeah.
So that question being, how do you get started, or how do you start a new relationship? How do you start dating after being divorced for 6 years? Now, this lady, she's been married for 16 years. Her and her ex-husband have 3 kids. They kind of been going back and forth over the years.
What does that mean, back and forth? Like back and forth with each other over the years?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Even after
happens.
divorce, they kind of been going back and forth, and
Yeah.
it's kind of been hard to let go. But she finally told him, "Listen, it's time to let go.
Yeah.
Cut the strings, and let's just be done with this. Cut the soul ties, and let's be done." And so now, after doing that, it's been about 6 years, and she's like,
Since they've been back and forth.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
they were divorced. They were married for 16.
Yeah.
They've been divorced for about 6 years, and
Yeah.
they went back and forth for about that amount of time.
Yeah.
And she said that they finally cut it off. They're done. Soul ties cut. Done deal.
Yeah.
They have 3 kids, 3 younger kids, so they kind of they still have to communicate a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she's like, she's ready to date. And so her question is, how does she do that properly? Like, how does she start dating again after being married to that person for 16 years? And that's the only person that she's ever dated. That's the only person she knows.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but it's
Things happen.
yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah,
but-
so it's rough jumping
you
back
wanna,
out there.
You want to answer it, or you want?
No, I'm gonna let you answer it. But I
Well-
mean, I'm gonna come in, but I'll let you
Alright.
answer.
Well, my opinion is, it's like, whenever you in a relationship for that long, for like 16 years or whatever amount of years most people are in relationships, if you're in a relationship for a substantial amount of time, and if that relationship started off to the point to where that's the only person you know, it's going to have like periods of where you've generated and y'all develop like a relationship, just a natural relationship. In that relationship, it comes a point where you don't agree on certain things, and I consider them to be core values that break you up. But ultimately, you're going to have some type of relationship where y'all develop together, or kind of like, experience life together. So
Yeah.
I can understand like if they went back and forth, like, so,
Yeah.
So I understand like those things.
And we
do
have
happen.
young kids. I'm sorry. And we have young kids. It's like y'all are talking, and
Yeah.
then y'all have things that.
But just for
like y'all-
themselves, not even about the kids, because a lot of people say it's about the kids. And
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest way to kind of deal with feelings that you're having within yourself
Yeah,
about the relationship.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think
yeah,
most
yeah.
people kind of look at it as, let's be with each other for the kids, but it has to be something already there that you can work with, that'll make you comfortable. You
Yeah.
want to be around that
Yeah.
person. It's
Yeah.
something good that you see, even when the bigger picture shows that there's some complexities that you can't get past, or some
Yeah.
core values that were
broken.
violated that
Yeah.
you can't just move past. But there's something about it that you personally feel rewarded to kind of consider,
Yeah.
like even doing it for the kids. So
Yeah.
I think that's just the easiest way to say, like, to deal with it. Like whenever you know it's a pending demise, like when things are gonna just, it's gonna fall apart, and you just kind of like look at it as like, we do have some underlying basis of like being able to deal with each other enough, so
Yeah.
that our kids could be in a home where we're together, and they just kind of come through their formative years or whatever. But I just kind of think that's something naturally everybody kind of try to consider. At least if we don't do it for ourselves, let's do it for the kids.
Yeah. And then even in doing that, like, sit down with the kids and have a conversation with them, and let the kids know, okay, listen, these are my boundaries as far as it goes with your father, so that they'll have a clear picture and a clear understanding of where you're going in the next phase of your life. And you can show them, okay, it's okay, for mom to be happy. Like, because at the end of the day, they're gonna live their own lives. You have 3 kids, like, they're gonna live their own lives. They're gonna go off, and you don't want, your time spent just raising them and not raising yourself up. You know what I'm saying? And not enjoying yourself and enjoying your life. I know we live for our children, But at the end of the day, you know, there has to be a moment where you think about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Where you are, okay, I need to take care of myself, because if your cup is empty, then how are you going to give to them in the end?
Yeah.
So you have to sit down and have a conversation, or I would advise you to sit down and have a conversation with your kids. Let them know the boundaries when it comes to their dad, and then also let them know that you want to date. Like, let them know, like, I want to go out on dates and all that, and just include them in on it. You don't have to let them meet everybody you date, you know, anything like that, but just include them in on it. Let them know, hey, I'm going out on this date, I talked to this guy, you know, whatever, if the kids are of age where you can do that, and just be comfortable with them about it, and so that way y'all can transition easily. And, you know, and it'll be easy for you. Set boundaries. Make sure that you do set boundaries with your ex-husband. Like, make sure you talk to him, and you let him know, listen, we talk because of the kids. It only needs to be about the kids. And you don't really need to be having, you know, a whole lot of conversations, long conversations when it comes to that. And let him know, you know, I don't know, some people bring, like, if you decide you're gonna get in a relationship and it, you know, seems to be working out fine, and you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna bring the kids to the basketball game or the cheerleading match or what, you know, or whatever, you know, like, y'all talk about that and decide how, you know, you want to navigate that between the two of you, and do it openly with the kids so that everybody will be comfortable. So I think if you do it that way, jumping back into dating would be easy for you. It'd be easy for you. You just gotta talk it through. And
the only thing that I'll add to that is that and it depends on, like, the age of the child. I mean, you have to consider that younger kids take in things and process things differently than teenagers and older kids.
Yeah.
And so it's a little tricky, and I agree with you. Like, it is a little tricky in terms of, like, how much you should include your kids on the dating experience, because they really only understand their relationships with their mother and father on that level. They don't understand, like, the adult-to-adult relationship and the things you have to work with. And even though I'm not refuting anything you say,
no, you good.
I'm just saying, like, this is extra, like, component to it. It's like you have to really consider, like, the age group of the child, the chronological age, of course, and then also the mental age. How well are they able to just see things happening around them, the things that may be confusing. And then you may have a relationship that's toxic with your relationship with the child's father, but that doesn't mean that toxicity went into that child's relationship with that father. So a lot of times when we experience reasons to leave, the child feels nothing but love coming from that same source. So it's like, it's a little bit tricky. You got to really gauge it. You got to really think about how, like, I would say, you know how you feel. You're able to somewhat process your feelings about the situation. But what we aren't trained to do is kind of see things through the eyes of somebody else. So I would say, like, really pay attention to the child or the children involved in the situation, and then just kind of gauge, or just put yourself in their position, kind of seeing, like, how much they love their father and their mother, or whoever it is that may have to be parted from, and just kind of, like, getting a feel of how they would process that relationship being severed between the two of y'all. Because sometimes they see, because we hide things that are negative from our kids sometimes, and they only come across or witness those positive interactions. So to bring to them or introduce to them a reason why y'all should break up may not process well, because they've never seen where y'all have argued in some cases, or had these, like, big old disagreements in some cases. But there are cases where the kid, it spills over. It's just like you can't control it. You know, parents are just they start off trying to keep it secretive and keep it healthy in the home for the children, but then it kind of, like, find its way out. But all that has to be, like, considered, and unfortunately we may not have the right answer for every situation. But, like, underlying everything, is all about really just understanding where you are, coming to a conclusion as to how you want to deal with it, but also understand, like, you have a right to protect that child or the people that's involved in that family as well. And the best way to do that is to see it from their eyes, and kind of, like, start to consider things based on how they would process it and feel about y'all breaking up.
Exactly.
I do want to answer the question, though, like, how should you date? How should you be open to dating? I would say it's the same as you would any dating experience. You just would naturally just be open. Just make like, it doesn't matter how many years you've been in a relationship. It doesn't matter your feelings, present day feelings about the situation, or the feelings you got beyond. Some feelings you would never really get over completely. Some linger, and some you're over, like, right away, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter how you feel. You're an adult. You can process it or whatever. Just understand that you don't have to be completely, I'll say, you don't have to be completely healed to move on. I think when you become an adult and you deal with adult men and women, that whatever sex you are, the opposite sex or whatever you like, they should understand that as you get older in life and as you navigate through life, there's some situations that you're going to carry over with you no matter where you're going. Like some things are going to stick with you forever. And if you're an adult, even in our relationship, there are certain things that we're open and we're transparent and we're honest about, and we haven't found conclusions to it.
That's right.
Or whatever the case may be. But we're adult enough to understand that's a part of life.
Yep.
And that if we haven't gotten over something just yet, that we'll be there for each other to help through that process.
Heal.
And that's a part of being an adult in a relationship versus being a kid or somebody young.
Yep, that's so true, babe. So, and with that dating, and you think about dating and you thinking about your kids. That's something that we deal with because we both have children. He has 3 girls, and I have 2 boys. My sons are 21 and 17. His girls are 6, 12, and 21.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. So we do deal with and are dealing with kids and trying to bring our kids together and trying to get them comfortable with the fact that we are dating, and then trying to, just blend, trying to get relationships, trying to build relationships, lay some foundation so that the kids will know, the type of personality that I have, know his personality. And it's a little bit hard because he's with us all the time because he lives here in Texas, but his kids live in California. So recently, we took a trip to Cali. That was interesting because all this stuff going on with the, can we say pandemic?
Yeah,
probably not.
The world problems.
Virus. The issues that's going on right now kind of stepped in. So we left on a Thursday, and we flew out to Cali on Thursday. And when we got there, it seems like it was a rippling effect of everything starting to shut down. It was like we got there and we were like, okay, we're going to go to, I want to say Thursday we were going to go, what were we going to do first?
I think we was just going to settle in and go to my mom's house. Okay. I want you to meet, but we just pretty much settled in.
Yeah. And so we had a show that we were gonna go to. We were gonna go to a basketball game. We had planned on going to the beach. It was
it was a lot of plans.
Yeah. We had plans on going to Universal Studios
and the Rona. Right in the beginning.
Caught us right at the beginning of us getting there. And so
it would have been nice if we had some cheap tickets because everybody had those real cheap tickets. But
we didn't get cheap tickets because we kind of planned ahead. But it's all right. We can get cheap tickets now.
And Rona got everybody stressed out.
Yeah, but so it was the first time that my boys had ever flown on an airplane. Now my youngest, he had flown before because we lived in New York for a while, but he was 3 or 4 years old. No. Yeah, I'm sorry, my oldest. He had flown before because we lived in New York for a while, but he can't remember. He was like 3 or 4 years old when that happened. So this experience of them flying for the first time was interesting. It was an experience for all of us to be together for the first time, which was interesting. It was an experience for us to work together, which was interesting within itself because it's like, go this way, no, go this way. No, we need to get this, no, we need to get that. So we kind of bumped heads a couple of times, got a little quiet, which was not the norm for us to be quiet. So it was a very interesting trip. But for me, the highlight of the trip for me was meeting his mother. That was the highlight of the trip. I was interested to see where he came from. I was very interested to see how he interacts with his mother because I feel like if a man or how a man interacts with his mother is pretty much how he's going to interact with you. It's kind of how I see it in a way. So to see how...
I was being tested. I'm just finding out. Hope I passed.
Yeah, you passed, babe. So to see their relationship, and to see how he cared for his mother and just to see how her face just lit up when he walked in, it was a good sign that he's good to his mother and that he cherishes that relationship.
Over the years. Yeah. So that's the basis to it all.
Yeah, that was important to me. And then I kind of wanted her to tell me some stories about him when he was a child, but we didn't get into all that. But when I go back, we gonna hear about that.
I was never a child. I was always a little adult.
Whatever. I want to hear how bad he was because I heard he was a little bad, mischievous child.
A little bit.
But anyway, so that was very interesting. That was my highlight of the trip, was to, like I said, meet his mother and then to meet his brothers, and just for all of us just to come together. I wanted him to see how my boys, how their personalities really are. And I was really excited to meet his two daughters. I met one. She came out to Texas, but the other two, to actually meet them, you know, and not on FaceTime, but to see them in person and just hang out and just all be together. It was a blessing. I had a good time, really good time. How was it for you?
I mean, you know it, and I'll share that. It was a really, yeah. Be careful.
I need
need
some
my
hand
lights on.
sanitizer.
But
What a hand sanitizer had that wrong.
it was actually a really good experience for me. It was everything you would probably expect in a relationship of ours, that we were kind of going in there relatively as a new couple, like planning a trip, like a family trip. One of the things I enjoyed was really just, it was a defining date in our relationship. It was a very defining date. And we had planned to have, like, if we had gotten to a certain benchmark, that we would let our, you know, we would want to make sure our families met.
Yeah.
In the process, at some point, you know, obviously in dating, you know, we had moved along to the point to where I was able to meet Alicia's family. But because I'm not from here, I'm from California, she never had a chance to meet my family. So I was like looking forward, and I had all these, I was very eager to just have the whole entire family be able to just meet, because I definitely take our relationship very seriously, and it's important to me that I see how, like, everything kind of manifests. We always knew her youngest son was going to be a part of the trip, but I was so pleased, like, I was like real excited about the whole idea of when her oldest son was able to kind of mix in, like, at the last minute, because, you know, I wanted it to be like, it's even her mom, but it wasn't perfectly it wasn't the way I would perfectly want it to be, but but when her oldest son got involved, then I was like, you know what, this is perfect. But then at the end of it all, the C Rona came out as this scare, and it was uncertain times, and it was like nobody, like, it was right at the beginning, like, and they were like kind of warning against flying and all that, and then there was some skepticism between us, and hesitation, where I just wanted to just go. Let's just go, because I was so excited about our families meeting. But then, as a responsible parent and as a responsible adults over the kids, and just seeing the circumstance for what it is, it was almost to where we just, you know, we were going to pull back in some ways from going on the trip, and that was kind of disappointing for me. But at the last minute, we kind of assessed things and just made a calculated decision that we would move on with our plans and move on cautiously. And so
we all talked about it. We all talked about it. We had a group discussion with the kids, and it was like, okay, do we still want to go? I mean, we even put my mom in, like, should we still go? Everybody was like, yeah, let's go, because like you said, it was the very beginning when people were, you know, starting to get worried about it. And y'all know we're Christians, so we're like, well, we're gonna have faith, and, you know, we're gonna trust God, and we're not gonna fear, and we're just gonna, you know, go and just be cautious, like, we wise, like, we're gonna be wise. And like he said, we were thinking about our kids, and we had them in mind, like, you know, we didn't want any harm to come to them, but it was like we really needed them to meet. It's like we needed this to happen,
and that was the best part of it all. It's like how the kids responded. Her kids have always, her family have always embraced me, and then just to see how my kids on every level, and my family and everything, you know, how everything just kind of manifested. I wanted them to feel that embracement of love and warmth, and I think that I think for the amount of time we had to spend there, like, everything in that regards, in terms of family interaction, was more than I can ask for. So I just, no matter how, and it was a lot of stuff we couldn't do because of the C Rona. But you know, at the end of the day, in terms of what I really wanted for our families to interact and socialize and kind of see each other and somewhat get to know each other within the time frame we had, I think I was very pleased.
It was almost a blessing, because it forced us to just be together. Like, we had no choice. It was nothing else for us to do. We had no other distractions. Because had we been at Universal Studios, we would have been, you know, in different places riding rides.
And they were closing. They closed Universal Studios and everything. They closed everything while we were there. Like, we were there, and then, like, it's like, you know, they just closed.
They just shut down.
the America's Got Talent. We were gonna go there to see a live video taping of it.
Yeah.
Like we had all these plans. Everything that we were gonna do, it just shut down.
Yeah,
like, one by one while we were there.
While we were there, we were actually in the parking lot for America's Got Talent to get ready to go in. We went at the time of the show and they were like, "Oh, they just canceled the studio audience." We're like, "Oh man!" Then we were gonna go to a Lakers game. Then Staples Center shut down. We're like, good gracious. So it was like everything just kind of like trickled down. But like I was saying, it was a blessing. I feel like it was a blessing because it forced us all to be together. Like we all had to sit together in hotel rooms. We had different rooms, but we were all together. We had to sit down and eat together. Like we were doing everything together. We rode in the car together for hours. And y'all, when I say I'm grateful to God for this man, I'm so grateful to God for this man. He was like, I'm going to just drive y'all around the city. And not like an hour, not like 30 minutes. We were in the car maybe like 4 or 5 hours at a time. He was just driving us around. What do y'all want to do? Where do y'all want to go? What do y'all want to see? Like in the rain, in traffic, and he was happy about it. Never complained, nothing. Just what do y'all want to do? What do y'all want to see? Yeah. So that made it even more precious, especially for my boys, because he made sure that they were happy. He was making sure that his girls were happy. And even in all of that, he was still making sure that I was satisfied on top of everything else. So I just thank God for this, man. I truly
thank God for each other.
It was a blessing.
But I didn't want it to be about a trip that's just all about my kids or what I'm going out there to see them. I really wanted everybody to kind of, enjoy the experience of being there. It was new for her kids to be there and for Alicia to be there. And it, I just wanted I wanted us to get as close as we could so that everybody can feel that it was a real rewarding experience or whatever. So, and I think based on the kids' expressions and comments about the trip and based on just our discussions, I think we got the best out of it.
We really did. They had an amazing time. So you guys, if y'all out there and y'all are dating and you're thinking, hey, when's a good time to incorporate the kids? What should we do? Is going on a trip, like going to a different state or however, going to a park or spending a weekend together, a week, or maybe renting out. I know we talked about maybe renting out like, a cabin or whatever, and everybody staying there and hanging out. If those are good, those are perfect ideas. Do it. I'm telling you. It can be a blessing. It can help your family come together and bond in ways that you wouldn't think. I know it's just a couple of days, but in that time, you really do get to know, your kids' personalities. You get to know how they mesh with the other person, that you're in the relationship with and all of that. So I would advise to do it. We did it, and it was fun. It was fun, and it laid some good foundation for our family to become one. He's so silly. So with that being said, we're gonna go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, and we are still pumped and ready to get this YouTube channel together, becoming one. Brian and Alicia becoming one. So we're working on it. It's coming along. Got a couple of things to fine tweak, and we're gonna have it to you guys. So be on the lookout for that. And y'all, just stay safe. Stay safe out there. Be smart. Fear not. The Bible does say 365 times to fear not. So have no fear, but be wise. Okay? And we'll see y'all next time. Peace. And you're so cute.